She didn't expect the wedding to feel like this. A room full of music, laughter, and family, yet somehow she felt invisible. While everyone found their places beside partners, friends, and smiling relatives, she was quietly directed to a chair off to the side, alone. Not because there wasn't space, but because no one made space for her. It's a strange kind of pain when it comes from your own family, when celebration turns into a reminder that you don't quite belong. She smiled when people glanced her way, pretending it didn't sting, pretending she was fine watching life happen around her instead of with her. In moments like that, loneliness feels louder than the music, heavier than the silence between conversations. And many of us know that feeling, being surrounded by people yet feeling completely unseen. It wasn't about the chair or the table, it was about what it symbolized. Being overlooked. Being an afterthought. Being told, without words, that your presence matters less. She sat there holding herself together, not knowing that this quiet, painful moment was about to become the turning point of her entire day, because sometimes, all it takes is one person to see you and decide you don't deserve to sit alone. And then it happened in the most unexpected way. Not a grand announcement, not a dramatic rescue, just a few simple words spoken with quiet confidence: act like you're with me. That was it. No explanation, no questions, no hesitation. In that moment, something shifted. Because kindness doesn't always arrive loudly, sometimes it shows up as a whisper that still manages to drown out the hurt. Those words didn't just offer her a seat at a table, they offered relief, dignity, and a way to breathe again. He didn't know her story, and he didn't need to. He saw someone uncomfortable, someone pushed to the margins, and he chose to step in. That's the power of small kindness. It asks for nothing, yet gives everything. The tension in her shoulders eased as she stood up, realizing she wasn't alone anymore. And what's remarkable is how little it took to change the entire atmosphere. One sentence turned isolation into connection, embarrassment into belonging. We often underestimate moments like these, thinking they're too small to matter. But for the person receiving them, they can feel like a lifeline, proof that someone noticed, someone cared, and someone chose compassion when it mattered most. What makes that moment even more powerful is who it came from. He wasn't someone with everything figured out, someone standing above the situation. He was a single dad, already carrying his own responsibilities, his own quiet battles, his own reasons to keep his head down and not get involved. It would have been easy for him to stay in his lane, to enjoy the wedding and focus only on his child. But instead, he chose courage, the kind that doesn't seek praise and doesn't wait for permission. He understood something deeply human: dignity matters. Stepping in wasn't about playing a hero, it was about refusing to let another person feel small. He didn't announce his kindness or draw attention to it. He simply made room, as if it were the most natural thing in the world. And that's what real courage often looks like: quiet, unassuming, and deeply intentional. In a space where judgment and assumptions can linger, especially around single parents, he shattered expectations with empathy. His action said more than words ever could: that strength isn't loud, and compassion doesn't need an audience. Sometimes the bravest thing a person can do is notice someone hurting and decide, without hesitation, to stand beside them. The shift was almost instant, like watching a tide turn right in front of you. Moments earlier, the bullies controlled the space with laughter and cruelty, feeding off the silence around them. But now, that control evaporated. They weren't the loudest voices anymore. They weren't the center of attention. Surrounded by people who stood united, they shrank into the reality of what they had done. Meanwhile, something just as powerful happened on the other side of that circle. The girl, who had been pushed into invisibility, slowly reclaimed her place in the world. She wasn't being stared at with pity, she was being protected with purpose. You could feel it ripple through the crowd, a collective realization that when people stand together, power changes hands quickly. No speeches were made, no dramatic confrontations unfolded, yet the message landed harder than any shout ever could. Cruelty thrives when it thinks no one will challenge it, but unity exposes it for what it really is: weak. In just a few minutes, the pier became more than a public space, it became a lesson. A reminder that dignity can be restored, fear can be reversed, and justice doesn't always need permission, it just needs people willing to stand shoulder to shoulder and refuse to let wrong be normal. What happened next was something Jennifer could never have prepared for. The police confirmed that the brake line sabotage wasn't random, it was tied to a rival gang looking to spark a violent confrontation. And now that Marcus had seen the culprit up close, he wasn't just a helpful witness, he was a problem that someone dangerous might try to silence. That realization hit Jennifer like ice. She had spent years fighting to keep her son safe from the struggles of life, but this was something far darker. The bikers, who had seemed intimidating at first, immediately shifted into protectors, insisting that Jennifer and Marcus stay with them at a secure safe house until the threat was handled. That night, when a chilling message appeared on Jennifer's phone, "We know who you are," any doubt vanished. Fear settled in her chest, but she wasn't alone anymore. Sometimes, the people you're taught to fear become the ones who refuse to let anything happen to you. Long after the bakery returned to its usual rhythm, the meaning of that moment stayed behind. It lingered in the minds of everyone who witnessed it, quietly asking a question far bigger than cake or money. What does it really mean to be wealthy? Not in numbers or possessions, but in character. That day made it clear that abundance isn't proven by what we can buy, but by how we respond when someone stands before us with nothing but honesty. The father walked out with more than a box in his hands, he left with dignity intact. The daughter would feel loved, not because the cake was perfect, but because her father never stopped trying. And the millionaire gained something no investment could offer, a reminder that success is empty if it never turns outward. We pass moments like these every day, often without noticing, each one offering a quiet choice between judgment and grace. True generosity doesn't wait to be asked, and it doesn't look for recognition. It simply shows up when it's needed most. In the end, the story isn't about an expired cake at all, it's about how a single act of compassion revealed the difference between having money and having a heart. And that is the kind of wealth that never expires.